Wilfred Frost is with us tonight as well from Buckingham Palace. He's now an anchor for our sister network, Sky News in the UK, and still a CNBC contributor. Wilfred, it's great to see you. How was the King's speech to British Parliament received today?
I think it went down well, Shep, but perhaps in a slightly less pronounced way to the speech that he gave from Buckingham Palace, that first address to the nation last Friday, because this speech today was shorter and it was more formal, part of an official process where he went to Parliament to gain the consent of parliamentarians, of those elected lawmakers. By the way, it was historic today, the first time it was televised and the first time this particular process took place in front of all of those members of the House and Lords and House of Commons rather than a smaller delegation. Now, these steps, like when he was proclaimed king, like going to get to the consent of Parliament, they're one-offs and they're now done. Much more important for him is the consent of the people, and that will be a job he has to do every single day of his reign. It won't be done and dusted at any one moment, and that's partly why he's now touring the 4 nations of the United Kingdom to begin that process.
Wilf, I'm sure you saw the Herald's front page on Sunday posed this question: Charles III, Union savior or last king of Scotland? Has the answer already been decided, you believe?
No, I don't think it has been decided, even though I think the first couple of days probably have probably gone quite well. But there's an important nuance here, Shep, because the First Minister of Scotland, Nicola Sturgeon, who, as you know, is the leader of the Scottish Nationalist Party and wants Scotland to become independent from the rest of the UK, wants that independence on a governmental level, on a parliamentary level, not in terms of a head of state. She wants to be able to pass laws in Scotland that govern Scotland rather than the bulk of those laws coming from Westminster, as is the case now. And in fact, she has said in the past and reiterated this week, if she got that independence, she would keep the monarch as head of state, much like Canada or Australia. So the key crux as to whether Scotland remains part of the Union is a political one. It will be decided first by arguments outlined by politicians and then a democratic vote of the people, though I think the monarchy this last couple of days has perhaps aided the position of the Union at the margin.
Wilf, a loving statement from Harry today, just days after he and Meghan met with Will and Kate. Was that an important show of unity, or how do you see it?
I think it was so lovely to see and not necessarily guaranteed. But I would think it would actually have been more surprising this week if we hadn't seen them together at any point than it was necessarily to see them all out there as a 4. I think at the moment, serious reconciliation feels very hard to achieve, Shep, because the two of them just have a fundamental difference of opinion on how you deal with private family issues. One of them thinks you can do so publicly, the other thinks those discussions should be behind closed doors. And with that upcoming book, the memoirs that Harry is supposedly due to release very soon, in a couple of months, I think it's going to be very hard to see things improve in the short term. And perhaps that book, we don't know what's going to be in it, could do much more serious lasting damage. It remains to be seen.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.